On a warm summer evening, August 5, 2025, at precisely 9:23 p.m. local time, an extraordinary sighting took place in Port Clinton, Ohio. A single observer, alone on an unlit street, was capturing the beauty of the moon through their camera lens. What they captured instead was something truly inexplicable, a multicolored, V-shaped lighted object hovering in the sky. Just 1 minute later, at 9:24 p.m., the same object reappeared, this time to the left of the moon. The fleeting nature of this event only adds to its mystique, leaving us with more questions than answers about what exactly was seen that night. On June 5, 2026, at exactly 12:50 a.m. local time, a bizarre sighting took place in Colina Verde, Bahia, Brazil. A single observer reported seeing a remarkable triangle-shaped object hovering in the sky. Initially stationary and facing west, the object suddenly turned and began moving southward with incredible speed. The witness described the object as white in color, measuring approximately 106 feet in size, and emitting other objects as it moved. As it vanished into the distance, it left behind a thin trail that condensed and disappeared just 4 seconds later. This enigmatic encounter lasted a mere 4 minutes but has left many wondering about the true nature of this extraordinary sighting. On the night of May 31, 2026, at approximately 12 a.m. local time, a bizarre sighting took place over Belleville, Michigan. The witness reported seeing a strange object hovering in the sky just next to the Willow Run Airport. The duration of the encounter was only 2 minutes, but it left a lasting impression on the observer who saw it. This is actually the second time in 5 years that this individual has witnessed something similar. In 2021, they had seen an identical phenomenon, and now here we are again. On a warm spring night in May 2026, a family in Wasilla, Alaska, witnessed an extraordinary series of UFO sightings that would leave them shaken and intrigued. The events began around 1:40 a.m., when the husband noticed a strange object hovering outside their second-story bathroom window. His wife was awoken from her slumber, and together they watched as the disc-shaped craft displayed amber-colored lights, occasionally flashing green and red. Over the next hour, the couple recorded video of the object's smooth, side-to-side movements. But that wasn't all. Around 10 minutes into the sighting, a second, much brighter object appeared on the scene. This one was accompanied by a haze or smoke-like aura and seemed to multiply into smaller, circular objects that moved erratically. The family watched in awe as the objects changed shape, size, and color, creating an otherworldly display. As the night wore on, the sightings continued to unfold, with new objects appearing and disappearing in rapid succession. At one point, a bright green-tinted central light was surrounded by smaller lights or objects that seemed to hover closely around it. The spectacle ended abruptly, only to be followed by another cluster of lights reappearing later in the night. The family's youngest child, a 7-year-old girl, unexpectedly woke up during one of the sightings and vomited. Her parents were left feeling unsettled and exhausted after the events concluded. As they reviewed their recordings on their phones, an eerie screeching sound suddenly erupted from the playback, startling them both. The experience would leave this family with more questions than answers about the mysterious lights in the sky. On May 17, 2026, at 3:30 p.m. local time, 2 observers in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, witnessed an extraordinary event. The sighting was reported just hours later, at 8:59 p.m. Pacific Time. The unidentified object remained in view for a staggering 2 hours, defying explanation. As seen from the balcony of a North End Halifax residence, the object hovered towards the ocean, passing over the harbor. Its shape appeared to be changing, with a distinctive white and black color scheme. While its size couldn't be estimated, it was clear that this wasn't your average aircraft. The closest distance between the observers and the object was approximately 50 kilometers, yet it seemed to maintain a consistent speed, which couldn't be determined. The most striking feature, however, was the unusual segmented tail that resembled exhaust, moving in an almost worm-like pattern. As the object moved, it left behind a trail, further adding to its mystique. The event's peculiar characteristics have left many wondering what could have caused this enigmatic sighting. On August 28, 2025, at approximately 11:38 p.m. local time, 2 observers witnessed an extraordinary event in Los Angeles, California. The sighting was reported to authorities on August 30th, around 9:01 a.m. Pacific Time. The encounter lasted for about 25 minutes, during which the object remained stationary before slowly moving away into the southern direction. The eyewitnesses, who were on their balcony at the time, described the object as a chevron-shaped craft with 9 circular white lights against a black backdrop. With an estimated size that was larger than usual stars in the night sky, the mysterious light display left a lasting impression on those who witnessed it. On January 22, 2025, at 5:40 a.m. local time, a remarkable sighting took place in Needles, California. A single observer reported seeing an extraordinary object hovering above a house, lasting approximately 8 minutes. The witness described it as having a chevron shape, roughly 14 feet wide, and emitting bright lights on its front. As the observer turned onto the street, the object began to slowly move away, flying east to west at an estimated speed of 25 miles per hour. What's striking is that the craft made no noise whatsoever, hovering mere feet above the ground before vanishing into the distance. On January 8, 2025, at 10 o'clock local time, an extraordinary sighting took place in Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas, Mexico. 2 observers reported the encounter to authorities just over 20 hours later, on January 9, at 6:32 Pacific Time. The event lasted a remarkable 20 minutes, during which the witnesses claimed to have seen a massive, grey object with a distinctive chevron shape hovering in the sky. Measuring an estimated 40 meters in length, the object was moving swiftly at approximately 70 kilometers per hour. What's more, it emitted lights and changed color mid-flight, producing a sound that seemed to accompany its movements. The observer's canine companion also reacted strongly to the sighting, as if sensing something extraordinary. This incredible account raises questions about the nature of this unidentified flying object and whether it was involved in a possible abduction scenario. It was a clear night with a bright moon, December 12, 2024, around 7:02 p.m. local time. 4 people witnessed an extraordinary event as they drove northeast on Austin P Highway in Rosemark, Tennessee. At first, they thought it was just weird and brightly lit cell phone tower lights, but as they got closer, it became clear that this was something entirely different. The object had 3 bright orange lights in the middle, with white and green flashing lights above and below. As it flew towards them, the green and white lights seemed to take up positions in front of and behind the orange lights. 2 of these green and white objects flew low and past their car, disappearing behind the tree line. The orange lights, however, flew directly over their vehicle. With the moon shining down on it, they got a clear view of the craft as one of them leaned out the open passenger window. It was a flat black V-shape with bright orange lights at its points. There was no noise that could be heard above the sound of the car and the wind, despite the object being incredibly low. A smaller red light flashed as it flew over, but its origin couldn't be determined. The craft was enormous, at least 2 to 3 times bigger than their car, yet not huge. It hovered just above the treetops, lower than a tall cell phone tower. Unfortunately, the shaky video and photos taken in the moving car don't do justice to the white and green lights, which were incredibly bright in person. On the evening of April 16, 2025, at around 7:50 p.m. local time, a bizarre sighting took place in Sandton, Gauteng, South Africa. The observer, who was stargazing on their balcony with their mother, witnessed an extraordinary object flying overhead. Moving directly north from the south, this enigmatic shape appeared to be roughly the size of an outstretched hand, but its dimensions in the sky were much larger, comparable to those of a small aircraft. What's striking is that it was completely colorless and blended seamlessly into the night sky, moving at a constant speed with no lights or sound. The object's shape remained consistent throughout the 30-second duration, resembling a boomerang or crescent. The observer noted that it was higher than cloud level and seemed transparent. As they gazed up at the stars, mesmerized by this unexplained phenomenon, they couldn't help but wonder what could have caused such an unusual sighting to unfold before their eyes.